I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is
Fit for a King, when everything means nothing.
the big homie Chad. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sori.
We still haven't had this baby, guys.
Me and DL Beluga should be up there pretty soon.
Yep. That'll be an interesting show, the next one coming up, I'm sure.
Yep.
When I picked him up last night, he came out, he was looking all angry. I'm like, oh, he really doesn't want to leave. Then he gets in the car, he's like, so you heard about Biden? Oh man, I felt like laughing so hard, but I pulled it together.
I wasn't that politically involved at 15.
No, I wasn't either. I could care less. He was all like, it looked like his Seahawks had lost.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Fit for a King. Let the people know.
Yeah, so if you're like, hey, how did this song get on you guys' list of songs to listen to? There's a couple different ways that you can make it happen. One is you jump on Patreon, it's $1 to get in at the gate, and you join alliances, and they work together to influence the songs that are on our list. But you have to work with a team that way. If you are like Chad, or like me, or like any of the other big homies that have done it the other way to do that is to go through the $125 tier on Patreon, or you can do it through PayPal, whatever way works better for you. Links are in the description of this video, and you send us the link to the song you want. After you do that with us 3 times, then it jumps down to the $75 price. So that's what Chad decided to do. Vin always makes it look like we're filthy capitalists because we like that option. But I think it's just, we have something we want to share, and we make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Justify it however you will, you filthy capitalists. Alright, that being the case...
Look, you use money to get what you want, right? You wanted those Skittles? You got them.
That being the case, let's do it, because I'm in a horrible environment where the only way I can get these scrumptious Skittles is through these horrible factors. By the way, congratulations, happy 39th
That's
week.
right.
You're 39 weeks
That's right, I'm
now.
39 weeks today.
Mm-hmm. Ah. Alright, Fit for a King, let's do it.
Here we go.
Ones and zeros fill my eyes. Am I supposed to be like everybody else? A prisoner of my own mind. Should I give up? Should I give up? I try to smile, try to fight, just say I'm okay. But everything feels like a hurricane. Yeah, I was born in the rain. Yeah, I was born in the rain.
really, really, really good. I loved it.
It's really interesting. You really like heavy music, huh?
I do, yes.
Really
Every time it
interesting.
gets very heavy, I'm like, okay, yes.
Yeah.
This is good.
Well, we've got some heavy parts in our song. Mm-hmm. Once you have this baby, maybe we'll be able to rock out. Mm-hmm. Commensurate to the riffage. I think the riffage is pretty heavy.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
It's so funny because, like I said before, I didn't realize how heavy it was until the drums got in there. And I'm like, oh yes, okay.
Our song or this song?
Our song.
Oh, my riffage. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Riff master.
Yep. You know what? So I love heavy songs, but it always is like, you know, like, well, this one, he's kind of asking for help, though. Hold on. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that that's good. Hold on. I want to pull up the lyrics. Go ahead.
Well, we're waiting for you.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, I didn't know what he meant at the very beginning when he said ones and zeros fill my eyes.
That's like computer code. You know, like in the Matrix,
Yeah.
they have ones and zeros. Yeah, it's like
Oh, okay.
buy something code.
Oh, okay, and that's what he said. Am I supposed to be like everyone else?
Yeah.
A prisoner of my own mind. Should I
Programmed by
give up?
society,
Yeah. Okay.
basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So just when he was saying like, I try to smile, I try to fight, just say that I'm okay, but every day feels like a hurricane. It was like, okay, I love the heaviness of it. I actually liked the lyrics, like the way that he was explaining that. Because he's saying like, I'm trying to smile, I'm trying to fight, you know what I mean? But it feels really bad. But then it's weird because like at the same time, like I think that I've been around a lot of people for so many years with like mental illness or depression or things like that, that like some days I just feel like, really?
What?
Like always feeling like sometimes it's just, can we just be happy? You know what I mean? Like, does there always have to be a problem? Oh, you're melting down again. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that sounds really horrible.
What are you talking about?
Oh, just like, I'm just talking about like generally like.
Just talking about me.
No, I'm actually talking about, well, no, I'm not, you don't melt down.
No, I don't melt down. I just get quiet.
Yeah.
You don't really like that either.
Well, it's just because I miss you. But no, like, just like, oh, I'm just talking about like overall. Because like, I think if you just have one person that's dealing with stuff like that, it's one thing.
Yeah, but who are you talking to that melts down all the time? We only around each other all the time.
No, there's always some issue. It's like every week there's something. There's always something. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
really? Like, again? Like, and like some of the things are just like over.
I finally convinced her to get her meds.
Yeah.
She had a better week.
But she didn't take them the whole time, and then it made for good and then bad, and it's just. But I'm just talking about, like, literally I'm not talking about, like, a specific situation. I'm talking about an overall. Because from the time that we started working, like, doing that, the thing that we were doing before this, like, everybody had a lot of problems. Like, there was, like, a lot of problems. And it was weird because you'd think that it was just... you think that I'm only talking about the people that we were helping, but even the people that were helping the people that needed help had problems. You know what I mean? Like everybody, it just seemed like everybody had like a bunch of issues. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You're just sitting there in a dazed look.
Well, no, I ended up having to deal with most of it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so like sometimes I'm
Pretty
like...
exhausting. Made me yawn just thinking about it. Holy moly. Yeah.
So I think that just like depending on like today, like I just want to be out in the sun and I don't want to be like thinking about all the problems that there is. You know what part of my issue is? So I woke up, I found out something like that I really didn't want to hear, but I still found out about it anyway. And I mean, it's something that I needed to know, but like I was thinking about it during the night. I kept waking up and I'm like, I always want to find a solution to the problem. And sometimes like I can't find a solution and that's super frustrating to me. Like when I cannot have enough control on a situation. Like some things are just out of your control. There's nothing you can do. But like this person said, like I was born in the rain. First of all, I loved the artistic like word usage there because being born in the rain, like
I was born in it.
It was beautifully put and you got an understanding of what he was going through. But like I said, at the same time, it's like, but this person is saying, I'm trying to smile, and like asking, he asked for help, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's some people that, like, and this is another thing, I was scrolling through Facebook, and there are some people that it's like, literally every post is always how horrible and depressing everything is. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
was it that person that I was like, yeah, I don't even follow that person anymore?
well, yeah, that person,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, some people, it's like always negative. And then, like, they'll once in a while post something positive, but it's followed up by negativity so quickly. It's like, you know, somebody does something nice for them, and then they're like, oh, okay, fine, I am loved. And then they go right back to the same, you know. But, I don't know. There's
It's very hard to gauge
where people are at if they're...
because all you know is all people know is how they would react in a given, like, for example, like the election. Like, people on both sides were like are having nervous breakdowns. Like, so now all the right-wing Christians who I'm friends with, who supposedly trust God and you know, believe that God is the Lord of history, are like, they're freaking out. They're talking about the end of the world. I'm like, holy shit, Joe Biden is the end of the world? Like, nothing is going to happen. It's Joe Biden. Like, what did he run on? All he ran on was, I'm not Trump. He got up there and he says, I'm going to be the president of all Americans. He got up there and he said, hey, reach out to somebody with a Trump sign in their yard and be nice to them. Like, what else is going to happen, bro? But to me, it's ridiculous that people are like losing their minds over Joe Biden. Like, and I'm not talking about like people like Leah or whatever in the Middle America Forum. Because like, she's not freaking out. She's just saying, hey, XYZ. I'm talking about people who are like losing their minds. Like, so I have a very hard time empathizing, not because I'm like, oh, you like Trump, because I don't see much difference between Biden and Trump. To me, you know, they're, you know, it's like my buddy posted. He goes, okay, you know, 2 weeks ago you go in a store, they call, hey, nigger, and now they'll just silently follow you. Like, that's the difference between Trump and Biden, and I think he's right. Like,
yikes.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I would much rather A than B. But, like, so I have a hard time, like, empathizing with people over this Trump-Biden stuff, because I'm like, bro, like, come on. Like, now, I will tell you, I'm worried because Trump's not conceding, and I'm worried the longer this drags out, the more there is a potential for people to kill each other in the streets. I'm worried about that. Yeah. But I'm not worried about, like, we're going to do our thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing's going to... So, like, you know, and I just think a Trump presidency would be more entertaining and give us more material for middle America than Biden will. I think Biden's going to be a relatively boring president, which I think a lot of people wanted. But anyway... So sometimes, like, when it comes to people's mental health and things like that, like, that's one of the things that you run into is like, you can only, especially if you're in the same situation as the person. So, like, we're all in a situation together as far as Trump and Biden goes. So, I'm like, I'm in this situation. It's not like, so I just have a hard time with, like, even trying to, even understanding, like, yo, why is this bothering you to this degree? Like, we're in the same situation. You're freaking out and I'm completely fine. So it's hard to, you know, relate and empathize with people in those situations. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if somebody says, like, you know, my dad touched me when I was 6. Like, I've never been in that situation where a close family member did that to you when you were young. So I've never been in that situation. So it's easier for me to empathize and go, oh man, I've never been in that situation, man. I hope things, you know.
I see.
But whereas if I'm in the same situation as you and you're freaking out and I'm completely fine, it's very hard to empathize with me. Very, very hard.
Well, this explains a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. For sure.
Oh, that's interesting.
You're like that too, though. You are 100%.
Actually, you know what?
You're
right.
100% like that.
You're right.
You'll hear, you know, 15 people got shot up, and you're like, yeah, it's terrible, terrible, and you go on with your day, no problem.
Isn't that the opposite? Wait, now my head's getting confused. No, like, I have to have been through the situation for me to empathize with you. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you'll hear about 15 people. You're
No,
fine.
that's the opposite of what you're saying. You're saying, I'm in the same situation as you. I can't empathize.
No, you can't empathize with people when you're in the same situation and it doesn't bother you. So, like, if I hear about 15 people getting shot up or killed or whatever, I'm going to be in a bad mood for 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to say, oh, that's terrible. Mm-hmm. And I could tell, you're like, come on, let's go. Didn't happen to us, let's move on. And, you know.
No, I'm not like that anymore with you. I know how it's going to go. I used to be like.
Well, yeah. There's what you say, and there's where I know you're actually at. Like, you're not trying to, you know, feel bad about those people for 3 days. And I'm not.
No, I don't. I'm not going to feel.
I'm just saying, like, that's. So, like, we're in the same situation.
I'll randomly think about it and be like, wow, that's really terrible.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people like that.
Honestly,
it's very hard with mental health to gauge or to emphasize with people because it's, you know.
I think that it's really nice that you empathize to that degree. Like, if I was to, like, look at it, I'm like that. In my mind, like, if you're going to say who's a better person, I would say that's a much better person that's going to empathize with people to that degree. But I do not want to live my life like that because there's literally always tragedy happening, and I don't want to be sad about everything and feeling all. I literally, no.
Yeah, but I've seen things you haven't seen, though. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know phone calls people are going to get and IDing bodies and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anything about that. So,
yeah.
You know, I understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? But, so anyway, like, what might seem like a little, like, sun shower to some people is a hurricane to other people. And I think that's the real issue. It's like, you might be seeing it as just a regular sun shower. That's why the rain metaphor is really good. You might see it as that, but the other person might see it as, you know, a Category 5 tornado. See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And especially when he says I was born in the rain.
Yeah.
There's some people, like, being born in that type of adversity and horror, like, hardens them and makes them a hard person. But to other people, it has a sort of withering effect where they're like, yo, I've been dealing with this my whole life. I can't believe I have to deal with it again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So everybody's different, but for the most part, you know, communities. Basically, society basically says, you know, put on a stiff upper lip and get on with life.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that there's a lot of people, at least the people that surround me, and I'm talking about obviously Facebook and stuff like that. Like, I don't feel like that those people are practicing that. And sometimes,
practicing what?
Like, put the stiff upper lip, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like everybody is like just, and maybe it's just the time, maybe it's the year, like maybe everybody's just like so sick of everything because it's 2020 and we've had COVID and everybody's sick of being cooped up and sick of being judged and all that. I don't really know, but I see all those posts coming down, and then I see my aunt who has been through a lot. Like, she's lost multiple children, she was in a bad relationship, like, she's been through a lot, and like she's come out on the other side and she's still smiling. Like, she puts the picture of herself on there, she's like, hello to all my good friends and family, I'm sending my love, catch it, you know, like, it's just so cute, like, in that happiness that she has. Like, she didn't let her circumstances steal from her the joy that she can have in life. You know, her husband died a couple years ago. It's just like a lot of things, you know, and she's not that she hasn't been sad or hasn't dealt with dark moments, but she's, you know, overall she's found a way to capture joy even in diversity. And I think that adversity, yeah. And I think that, I don't know, like, I think I'm not just talking about like everybody else around me. I think I'm really talking about myself too, mainly. And I wish that I was more like that.
What?
More like her, like keeping that like joy about you even though you've been through things. Like, there's certain things that have like shaped me, and I don't like the way that they shaped me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, she's had about, how old is she, like in her 60s? Mm-hmm. She's had about 5 or 6 go-arounds around the same mountain. You know what I mean?
But I've known her all my life, and she's always...
Well, yeah, you've known what adults project to kids all your life. You know, like, growth that type of growth is a process. You know what I mean? And I think that there's lots of things that we assume about people that if we saw them in their private life, it would be a little bit different. So, especially that particular family, that side of that family. Like, you got to come up with certain survival mechanisms to survive in that type of situation. And there's people in your family that are not did not master that and didn't go through half of what you went through. So, yeah, I mean, I hear you. Yeah. Tell me what I need. The water's rising past my eyes. Yeah, but I do think it's good though when people reach out for help. I think that's very important, and I think
absolutely.
I think that that's one of those things where Republican talking points can actually become extremely dangerous, because when the right wing was looking at people suffering, like they made a lot of these guys made a lot of their money mocking people when they're suffering. You know, Ben Shapiro's, I've got this mug that catches liberal tears so I can drink liberal tears, and it's really a disgusting metaphor.
That's literally what I was thinking on
the whole,
ew.
oh, you're a snowflake thing. Like anybody that has any, oh, do you need a safe space, blah, blah, blah. So now you spend the last 4 years mocking people for having, you know, emotional reactions to situations. Now it's on your side, and so now the society's looking at them like, too bad, man, you guys are mocking everybody for the last 4 years. Fuck all of you. You get what you get, and now people are happy that you're suffering because you were doing that shit to people so now it's like, if you have a mental health issue, you know, that was triggered by, you know, this situation, I mean, I don't even know what the rules are for those folks. Do they get to express that they're upset? And then when everybody jumps on them and starts using the phrases, I mean, I'm seeing it. You know, we got this one, you know, our little sister that we take care of every so, you know, like she's like she's posting it like mad, like, ha, you know, facts don't care about your feelings and blah blah blah. And I understand that. It's 4 years of build-up, bro. So it's like, now, if you're on the other side, like, can you ask for help? You know, if you definitely can't ask for help in a public forum because people are going to get at you. You know what I mean? So I don't, and then it's like, can you even ask for help? You know, I'm not in the right-wing club, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Like, can you ask for help, like, among other right-wingers, or are they going to say that you're soft or whatever? I mean, I have no idea, but this is one of those curious moments where, like, your ideology begins to work against you. And I think that that's a trap that a lot of people fall into, you know, which is, you know, nobody thinks through the ramifications of, okay, what if the people on the other side were able to use this? How would that work?
Yeah.
How would that go?
Yeah.
And so all the people that were saying that stuff and coining those phrases, they're all multi-millionaires. They're going to be fine no matter who's elected. You know, and, you know, really, not to get too political, but the only reason Ben Shapiro would really care about, you know, Biden versus Trump is that Biden plans to tax people that gross more than $400K, which is the bracket that he's in. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, as far as, like, the ground level right-winger, like, they're in a lot of emotional duress right now, and I don't know if, I mean, definitely in middle America, if they express that, I'm going to watch and make sure that nobody gets at them, you know. I told everybody, like, we're going to have a moratorium for a week on, like, funny memes or whatever against Trump or whatever, because I want to make sure the folks in our environment are good, you know? And I don't want to contribute to, like, a burgeoning civil war. But my point is...
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I am enjoying... I'm not happy that Biden won because I feel like he's just a flop. And I don't even like Kamala. But... at the same time, like, Trump had his issues as well, but I really was wanting Trump to win.
Yeah.
But the memes, they're funny. Like, some of these memes, like, if you can just pull, like, I was pretty frustrated. Like, there was like a day I let myself get frustrated once when we watched a game and Brady lost, and I got so friggin' angry.
Yeah.
I said, I'm never gonna let myself do this again.
Yeah.
I hated that feeling, and I said, I'm never gonna let myself, and I have not gotten into a game since then.
We watched Tom versus Time.
Yep.
That little thing.
That's what happened. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so we got all emotionally connected to Tom Brady
Yep.
and Jules. and then
he lost.
Well, and really, like, he had a historical. He threw 500 yards, which is basically 2 games worth. Two very good games. You throw 250 yards in a football game. That's big time. And you know,
I was Brandon, upset that he lost.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks got that concussion.
I'm like, what is going on with me? I don't even really like sports. Like, why am I this invested in this? And I did not like that feeling. So I never got that invested in the game after that. Yeah, it really was, because now I'm not as invested.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happened when it looks like Biden's winning. I'm like, I started getting like really angry about it. I really did not like it. You were like, why is this such a... You were like, it wasn't like affecting you like it was affecting me. And then I finally said, I'm not doing this. Because I don't even think Trump is that, you know what I mean? Like, Trump, they both have their issues.
It's all propaganda. The entire thing was propaganda.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway.
It was a long game con by the...
Plus, I saw this meme. Look at this.
Democrats.
Whoops, it won't be in favor. It's gonna be screenshots. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not sharing any like anti-Trump memes right now. I'm
not.
genuinely worried for the mental health of these people. At least the people in my circle. People outside my circle.
So he says, Dad, why does the government ruin everything it touches? He said, well, Russ, people can't seem to figure out that the government is a monopoly that has no incentive to be efficient, effective, accountable, or to improve because it's funded by taxes we pay involuntarily. And if we don't, well, they put us in prison.
Is that Chevy Chase?
I mean, I don't know. But I thought that was kind of an interesting take. It's like
Chevy Chase.
There really doesn't seem to be an incentive to do really what the people want. There's weird things that have happened, and you know what I mean?
What do you give the song?
Anyway, it's a 10. I loved it.
That's solid 9. It's a good song. There you are, dear listener. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
Trying to fight, just say I'm okay, but every day feels like it's killing me. Yeah, I was born in the rain. Ones and zeros fill my eyes. Am I supposed to be like everybody else? A prisoner of my